Alright, good morning everyone, afternoon, good evening, all depends on when you're watching this video. Quite a slow week, a lot of things going on at the office, a lot of things going on in my personal life. That's why I haven't been uploading since yesterday. But however, just looking at gold right now at the moment, so I just want to actually clear up my chart so you guys don't get confused or anything. So clean chart, this line over here is an alert, this over here is an alert, that's over there is an alert. So I'm waiting for price to hit the 90.25 level. And then also if it breaks through that, then this level of I will be 1927.50. So those are the levels that I'm looking at. So just quickly on gold, this is a trend and what we expecting to happen. So we can clearly see that from last week, well, since 22nd of August, we've been having some very, very clean pushes towards the upside, indicating that we have some bullish momentum. And if we look at the 4 hour, this last liquidity point over here, price actually broke through that. So it's very, very evident that we can see price continue making some more bullish moves on gold forward over the next few weeks. So end of the month, we should see gold more or less around these zones over here. So we'll see how that plays out. But currently, just looking at current structure, let's just focus on this over here. As you guys know, this will be the external high, this will be the external low. All of this becomes internal structure. And so as you guys all know, wicks represent gaps on smaller time frames. So this is the first wick that I have marked out over here. And then the zone that really piqued my interest beginning of the week was 1950. So I still want to see what happens when price actually reaches that zone. Just going to mark this out here as well so we can see that really clear. So this will be the target for gold. If I'm buying on this from these areas, I'm going to target all the way to 1950 and then hold some of the position to target these highs at 1975 eventually. So we're definitely looking to swing gold for a long period of time. Now, also why I believe gold will rise on that. Also don't get confused. So my overall bias is bullish. My daily bias is going to be bearish because I want to see price being pushed to that low. So so overall bias is longs, but I want to see if price hits the zones, I want to see price basically do something like this, tap into the zones and drop from there, and then obviously give us that rise. Let's go a little bit more deeper. So just based on this wick over here, I see this as liquidity. Now I know yesterday we looked at 1915 and it didn't hit my zone. But because 1915 is right over here, but because it's so close to this wick over here, I think it's going to break all the way through. It's not going to hold because, like I said, there is liquidity down here as well, which should be targeted. So we don't want to buy from 1915. So also just going back on that real quick, you guys would see that there was this gap that was formed on gold over here. This was formed yesterday. From there, there's a nice little fair value for imbalance, or if you wanna, however you wanna see that gap. So I want to see price trade into this level and then basically drop. So you will see that 1925 is about over here. Make that green. So just to give you some perspective on this, why are we selling from this area? So from there up until there. So it doesn't totally line up with my with my extreme zones, and I don't really like 618. But also like I said, it might break above this and then go to the zone and drop. But even if you could see it pin to these zones, even if we have something like this, for instance, happen, to show you, if you have something like this, even if we have something like this, then I would still consider some shorts unfold from here, as long as it comes from the level, and as long as my stop loss is not more than 25, which is currently 29, so 25 or something like that. So even if something like that happens, still okay. Risk reward will still be quite big. I think the risk reward in this would still be like 1 to 6. But this isn't exactly the zone. We'll have to see what happens when price actually gets to that point and what pattern presents itself. But going back on this over here, this gap, we have to look at on 3-minute and split it. So actually this becomes perfect because now you see that price actually lines up with my imbalance. So then I don't think, okay, so why I'm looking at 925 is because of this pivot over here. This level, this makes it a bit hard to tell what's actually going to happen. This one 15 and 5 minutes real quick. So if we move this to here, until here. So I think, okay, this is what I did when I was in my session now is. So by doing this like this, that gap in the 5 minutes, if we mark out that gap and we find the equilibrium point 40% is slightly above the R1. So same thing if we have something like this happen. Still an ideal level for me to sell from, and the stop is obviously above this. But we'll have to see what price actually does when it gets to that point. It's not confirmed yet, only if the pattern presents itself to make that fade. So that's pretty much each on gold. That's what you see that actually reaches those zones. I do have my alerts, I'll definitely keep you guys updated as well. But long term, when price comes into this zone over here, because I don't think it's going to take out the 1900 level, and this is the S1, the S2 over here as well. So these pivots, I believe, also give some more confirmation for this order block. And then we'll obviously, once price gets into the zones as well, wait for a nice little change of character to fair value cap and to go long. And obviously over here, the zone will be targeting will either be this point above the S2 or this level of 1912, which is about the S1. Same thing, have to wait for price to get to this point. This one over here, the S1 to deal in line with this.
Let me teach you for 1 minute. Then I promise I'm done.
But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens and how price plays out. Any other pairs that I'm looking at, I'm not quite sure at the moment. But if I do look at something, I'll definitely also update you guys.